Thermodynamics topic. First law of thermodynamics. Consider a thermodynamic system whose initial thermodynamic state is I. Here we consider a cylinder filled with some gas and a movable piston attached to it. Now, how can you describe the thermodynamic state? In mechanics, how we will describe the state of any moving object? In mechanics, the state of a moving object is described in terms of the position of that object, momentum of that object, acceleration of the object, etc. That means there are certain physical quantities or parameters by which we specify the state of any moving object. Likewise, in thermodynamics, the state of a thermodynamic system is represented by a set of variables. These set of variables are called thermodynamic variables. Examples: pressure, temperature, volume, composition, etc. So there are so many thermodynamic variables by which we can specify the state of a thermodynamic system. Now here, we describe the thermodynamic state by or in terms of pressure and volume of the thermodynamic system, assuming that other parameters like temperature are constant. Now we are going to change its thermodynamic state from its initial state I to a final state F. Here you can see that the pressure and volume are different when we take that system from initial state to the final state F. Now how can we change its thermodynamic state? There are so many ways, there are so many paths. What I meant to say is there are so many thermodynamic processes by which you can change the thermodynamic state of a system. We can think of different paths through which we can take the system from state I to state F. Let us consider three paths. The first path is IAF. That is, we will take that thermodynamic system whose initial state is I through this path. That is along IAF. There the path means some thermodynamic process that we are going to carry out, by which you can change the initial state I to a final state F. Now we will follow another path, IBF, and a more general path, ICF. So these are the three paths or the three ways or the three mechanisms or the different thermodynamic process by which we change the thermodynamic state of that system from its initial state I to the final state F. But here, the processes are different, but the initial state of the system and the final state of the system are same. The initial state of the system is defined through its initial pressure and initial volume, that is Pi and Vi. Whereas the final state of the system is defined through its pressure Pf and its volume Vf. Now this process takes place when system absorb heat energy, and if the system is capable of doing work, it does work on the surroundings. That is, all these processes, that is IAF, IBF, ICF, they are different thermodynamic processes. All these processes will start only when the system absorbs energy, and if that system is capable of doing work, some work is done by the system to the surroundings. Suppose the heat absorbed by the system are QA, QB, QZ. That is, QA means the amount of heat energy absorbed by the system when we take the system from its initial state to final state along IAF. Similarly, QB and QZ are the corresponding energies absorbed by the system when we follow the path IBF and ICF respectively. And WA, WB, WC are the corresponding work done during the first, second and third process. Since the processes are different, we know that the energy absorbed by the system will be different and the amount of work done by the system will also be different. That is, here QA, QB and QZ are not equal and WA, WB, WC are also not equal because we follow different thermodynamic process. But it is observed that the difference of heat energy absorbed and the work done by the system turns out to be the same. A very important concept and a very interesting concept too. Even though the energies absorbed by the system and work done by the system are different, the difference between the energy absorbed and the work done by the system found to be the same. Now, how is it possible? So, we say that, or we assume that, the heat energy and the work done, they depends on the process involved or the path. Whereas the difference Q minus W, that is the energy difference, depends on the initial and final state of the system. So, the amount of energy absorbed, that is Q, and the work done, that is W, they depends on path, so we call it as process variables. They are not state variables. Whereas the difference Q minus W is a state variable or can be called as a state function. Thus, when the system is taken from the initial state I to final state F, the values of heat energy and work done depend upon the path taken. But the difference Q minus W does not depend on the path. The difference Q minus W depends only on the initial and final state of the system. So, from the above discussion, it is concluded that for different thermodynamic states of a system, a thermodynamic state function can be defined such that the difference between any two states is equal to Q minus W. Such a function is called internal energy of the system. That is, if the internal energies of the system in initial state I and the final state F are respectively EI and EF, then the difference EF minus EI, the difference between the internal energies, that is delta E internal, can be equated to Q minus W. This mathematical statement is what is called first law of thermodynamics. And first law of thermodynamics is in accordance with the law of conservation of energy. So, first law of thermodynamics states that change in internal energy of the system is equal to heat supplied to the system minus the work done by the system on the surroundings. So, I repeat, first law of thermodynamics states that change in internal energy of the system is equal to heat supplied to the system minus the work done by the system on the surroundings. So from the equation, it is clear that the internal energy of a thermodynamic system can be changed either by heating, that is, giving energy, or by work as shown below. When heat flows into the system, its internal energy increases. When heat flows out of the system, its internal energy decreases. When work is done on the system, internal energy increases. When work is done by the system, internal energy decreases. So based on this chart, we design a sign convention to use first law of thermodynamics appropriately. And the table is, when system gains heat, we know that when system gains heat, its internal energy has to increase. So we have to consider Q as positive. But when system loses heat, when system emits heat or gives energy to the surroundings, its internal energy decreases. Therefore, there we have to consider Q as negative. Now, when work is done on the system, its energy will increase, internal energy will increase. So we have to consider work as negative. When work done by the system means that system spends its internal energy in doing work. So its internal energy decreases. And this will happen only when we take W as positive. So this is the sign convention that we have to use in first law of thermodynamics. That is, when system gains heat, Q is positive. When system loses heat, Q is negative. Work done on the system, W is negative. Work done by the system, W is positive. Even though we often explain first law of thermodynamics using gases, first law of thermodynamics is applicable to all processes in this universe. In all processes, first law of thermodynamics is obeyed. So even though we often explain first law of thermodynamics using gases, it is equally applicable to liquids and solids.